are all sitting here shooting the shit.
Yo, what's up? I'm your host, DJ Deuce. I got a special co-host tonight, Shel B GT. How you doing, Shelby?
Hey, I'm glad to be back.
It's fun. We just had you on yesterday. I was really happy. You're like, let's do this again. I was like, we ain't doing shit on a Friday night, so might as well, shoot the shit, right?
Yeah, I love it. Shoot the shit. It's great.
It's cool, man. It's cool. You're getting positive results on yesterday's interview. People are loving you.
Yes, I'm still promoting it, so I'm sure a lot of people will watch it after the week.
That's dope, though. That's dope. And I went back and I fully checked out a clip of the Vlad TV. Tell me, I know you hooked that up real quick. How was it? Like, because that's a big technical podcast / interviewer, right?
Yes. Actually, this is a funny story because I actually reached out to Vlad in 2000 and I want to say maybe 8 when he was still like DJ Vlad.
That's right.
So I really liked his Tupac mixtapes. I don't know if you remember that. He used to put out those like mixtapes where it was like remixes of Tupac songs.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I knew him from. And I had reached out to him about a mixtape I had done with a group I was working with, Cake Off, at the time. And nothing really happened, but we had at least had contact. So he kind of knew who I was, like as far as like Toronto, a girl named Shelby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then later on, actually, while I was on house arrest for a while, and I wanted to continue like keeping my name relevant. So I did a lot of stuff on social media. So I was actually like promoting Star Troy Terrain. He had a little internet YouTube show called Shot 97.
Nice.
And he actually introduced me to Vlad. So it's through Star. And
That's cool.
I was kind of like doing promo for Star and a little bit for Vlad. And then in turn, they were promoting me.
That's dope. So how did you end up meeting up with him at his studio? Is that how it worked? Or
No, because I was on house arrest and I haven't been able to travel to the States actually. So the way that we did it, I was actually one of the first like remote interviews. So I brought a camera person to where I was, and then he asked me the questions over the phone, and then he just did his voiceovers.
It was so cool.
Yeah. So it was really cool. I'm actually I think I'm the only Canadian, and I think I'm the only female Canadian to have a Vlad TV interview. So.
I think so, actually, because I me owning our own podcast, I enjoy listening to everyone else's podcast, right? Vlad TV is definitely one of them. And going on there, you're absolutely right. You're probably, definitely 100% the only Canadian woman on there, but probably the only Canadian also, right? So
yeah, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I'm one of the only artists. So
we'll just start the rumor. You are.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it. We're gonna start the rumor.
So Shelby, like I always love I always love story time. Like, stories are always funny. Was there ever a story that you went on stage and something went fucking wrong?
It's not really on stage. I'm pretty comfortable performing because
sometimes it has nothing to do with you, like technician, speaker, microphone.
To be honest, I never really had anything like that happen to me. I've always been really fortunate and in control of the performance. But like I will tell you, there was a really fucked up story at a video shoot. And because at the videos sometimes everyone gets smashed, like.
Yep.
So we were shooting on a boat, and one of the girls got really hammered, and she like almost knocked over the camera guy, and then he would have like went right into the fucking water with the camera. Like I don't know how he saved himself. And she was like in a bikini, so he forgave her, but he was pissed. And I was just like, oh shit. Okay, reel it in, bitches, reel it in.
There's like DJing, there's been times where I had like odd things. Like it happened at a wedding one time where the groom tripped over our own power supply.
Yeah.
And everything went down.
Yeah.
And he got like everyone looked at me for a second, and the groom was like, "Yeah, my fault." I was like, "Thank God it was him of all people, not a guest or like, you know what I mean, the +1." So it was just one of those like, "Shit, plug this in and give me a minute," and put power back on and stuff. So there's been embarrassing moments like that with us, but the worst one we did was. My business partner at the time brought another. We always have to bring backup equipment, right? So we had a backup laptop, backup stuff. the computer, especially when we DJ these days, it's your main source. This goes down, fuck it. There's nothing else. So we have a backup computer. And he's sitting there, and it's the groom's sister. They're from England. And when these people from England, I want to go to England. These people know how to fucking drink. They know how to party.
Oh, yeah.
They're absolutely, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, animals. Okay, it's fucking great. So she's coming over and she spills a whole beer on his laptop. Like it's just a big glass of beer. Like not one drop hit the table, all in the laptop. And he's just like, oh.
He was probably pissed.
So the groom's like, hey, how did everything go? And he's like, I don't want to be an asshole, but your sister spilled the beer. And he's like, fuck. And we're like, let's see what we get. So we brought it to Apple, and Apple actually fixed everything for free. It was under Apple. But you would think spilling a beer or water or whatever the case may be, it would be like, fuck you, it's your fault, right? Like, but they replaced it, and the groom didn't have to pay for anything. But it was one of those, like, when I looked at him, he was fuming, just fuming, you know? And you're like, oh, man. And I don't know.
Expensive if it breaks, like.
And yeah, there's only one place to bring it. Apple, appointment, wait in line, hand it over.
My computer screen is messed up right now, and it's like half messed up, so I can see like half, but I can't see any of the icons. So I just bought like a screen and like do all this stuff on this. I'm serious, because
that's dope. Like it works.
They were trying to charge like $1,000 to fix this fucking screen, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go buy a monitor for $100 and it's working fine.
So you plug it like on your HDMI through that's fucking genius. Yeah.
And I'm still just doing what I gotta do.
Absolutely, man. That's exactly what I do. It's funny because through StreamYard I hook up a HDMI wire to another monitor just in case to pop it up, right? Just in case. Because usually on here, me and Bam like to argue about things. And instead of arguing now, we just bring up the facts. We pop it on Google and we let everyone know who's right or wrong.
I love that.
Which it's mostly him. Like, and I'm like, bro, like even his favorite movie is Crush Groove. Did you ever seen this movie? 1985, Crush Groove with a K. He brings this up to me. He's like, and it's every hip hop, old school hip hop, like it's Run DMC, LL Cool J, Beastie Boys, fucking New Edition, like the Fat Boys, like everyone's in this movie. It's corny as fuck, don't get me wrong, but it's so cool watching them being so young, right? So he lets me know. He's like, yo, watch Crush Groove. So I pop it on and it says 1985. Yeah. So I'm like, so I say, yo, bro, the movie's in 85. He's like, no, it's in 83. Oh my god, not this shit again. So I popped it on this.
So funny because it's like it says 1985. So it's like,
I'm not making this shit up.
I know.
They filmed it in 83. Probably they released it in 85. I don't know what to tell you. So this new feature we have now.
1 year old, so
exactly. I was like, fuck, I wasn't watching that, but like it was because we were talking about favorite movies one time, and he brought that up. I was like, Crush Groove with a K, and I remember looking it up. I have one of those. I don't even know what they are. You know, like the Fire Stick. My boy hooked me up with this. You know, all these movies and stuff. As soon as I put K like KR, I was like, it popped up right away. I was like, what the fuck? So I checked it out. It was corny as hell. It was funny. Watching LL so young, I was like, wow. Like I turned around for a second and I heard him rap, and I was like. And he's just some young boy. It was dope though.
That's lit.
It's definitely worth seeing. Definitely worth seeing. So let's talk about some conspiracies. That's what we want to get on.
Kind of like even what we were talking about before we came on.
Yes, we were talking about COVID. Yeah.
Like, okay, so this is my thing. I feel like they really wanted Donald Trump out of office because if you notice, like their economy was doing really well before COVID happened.
Facts.
And you know, everything that happens to a president, acting president, usually has to take the fall for it. So why not give this fucking pandemic, which he wasn't buying, he kept the country open because he didn't want it to collapse the economy.
That's right.
Just like you said, it's really just small businesses that are really feeling this. So it's like, yeah, it would make sense for them to just have corporations. We can only go to corporations. We don't have as much money circulating in our own families. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they just want control of our incomes and now Trump's out and now all of a sudden they're promoting this vaccine. I think it's fucked up.
Within days, like it was like two days later.
I said this. I knew it was going to happen. So now he's out. They got what they wanted. And now they're back on the agenda. Like, oh, lockdown.
So now could we be a bit like, let's be a bit of a jerk here. So now these so-called cases are hitting a record high.
Yes.
Okay, and we talked about this before we got on the air. Was why wouldn't the record high be in the summer when everyone was actually doing shit together?
And I find it's weird that they made it a point to say before, like in March, they're like, oh, in the summer, it can't last in the heat. Like they made it a point to say that, almost to be like, okay, we're going to let it fly for a little bit in the summer because the summer in Canada is not that long. They're going to get more out of it to do in the winter. So now all of a sudden they're like, oh, because it's flu season and it's cold, it's back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's almost like they're like setting us up. You know what I mean?
Do you think they're setting us up for fear? So the vaccination does actually come out. It's like, fuck it, I need it. Like,
yes.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
For fear, for control. I don't understand it, to be honest. It's like these people who run the world are fucking rich as fuck. Like, what more do you want? What do you want?
Is it Bill Gates that's behind this, supposedly, something like that? Like one of the richest people in the world?
It's so funny the way God works, because if they are doing this for like population control or whatever the fuck they have going on, it's like, do you know how many fucking babies were made during COVID? Like, what do you think people are doing in COVID?
Wow, I didn't even look at it that way. Yeah.
Fucking. So yeah. You want us all to be eradicated, but then we're bunnies, bro. Like, are you
you bored? Yeah, let's do it again. You know what I mean? That's exactly what it is.
So it's so funny how they just try to like control. I find it evil. Like, because why you want to do this to people? There's really people struggling right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got lucky because where I worked, I'm higher up on the food chain. So if people got laid off, it would have to be pretty much everyone before I get laid off. But like I said, I was telling you earlier, I deliver plumbing and HVAC supplies, which is something that people need all the time because. So it's kind of cool. Someone's furnace goes down, obviously, especially with the winter, we need to deliver them a furnace. So I got lucky. But you're right. I've seen people, this money that they're getting that they're eventually need to, owe back in taxes, whatever the case may be. In the long run, I know whoever took that for a longevity of time is not going to be good news when it comes to tax season. It's going to be really bad.
Yeah, and it's like, fortunately for some, like, I feel like, for the mothers that need it, like the single moms and stuff like that, I believe they'll be fine. But it's these people who are taking advantage of it. It's going to make it even worse.
Well, it was hard. A friend of mine owns a painting business. And they're literally, some of these fuckers are so lazy. They're like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going on CERB. He couldn't even hire people to work. They were just like, yeah, I'll just take the free money.
Which it's not that much. So it's like, why do you want to live off this? Like, I would rather be in a secure job. Like, luckily I work for myself, so I'm okay. But I would want to be in a secure job that not fucking.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry. I'll choppy for a second.
And it's not going to be forever. Like, if you think about it, this is just a little shut up money so that people will not fight and argue about this vaccine coming out. I'm telling you.
What's the biggest, is there something you miss? What's the biggest thing that you like, fuck, I wish I can do during like COVID that you can't do anymore? Is there something that's like we're social guys. Me and Bam are always out. It's killing us being inside this many, this long and what? So we're going on month 7 or 8. I don't even know anymore.
I have kids, so I find that I really miss just being able to go. Like, there was a point where no one was going to the park, bro. And I don't even know if you know, but being a mom, like, going to the park is a big, like, you need to be able to go to a park. Like, kids go through park withdrawal and shit. So it's like, it was really eerie to never see kids on parks for a long time. So now it opened up again for the summer a little bit, but it's like, I really miss just being able to take them swimming, going to a park. Like, I wanted to sign my daughter up for gymnastics this year, and I chose to because of all this crap. So it's like, it sucks, man. You feel guilty that your kids are at school. Like, if there's the mom who has her kid homeschooled, she's like, oh my God, you're taking a risk. Like, okay, listen, bitch. Like, I can fucking choose to do what I want with my children. Like, shut up.
Have you ever had an altercation during COVID with anybody?
Like, what do you mean?
Like,
like the masks?
Just
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'll tell you my first
Yes.
altercation. So it's a Friday after work. So I'm going to the supermarket to buy food for the family, like my mom and dad and everyone. I'm dinner time. I'm going to buy this stuff. End of the week, kind of exhausted. Grab the shopping cart. And I'm looking around, right? The mask wasn't mandatory yet, but I'm looking around to see what people are like, So I'm creeping at them. I'm like, everyone seems a little bit normal. Okay, cool. But then I grabbed a box of something. I think it might have been like, let's be realistic. It might have been drumsticks or something in the freezer, which I shouldn't be having,
Yes.
But now that I touched it, I was like, fuck, I can't put this shit back, So I'm like, yeah, chucked it in the cart. So I do my shopping and I get in line and there's a dude in front of me. And I remember leaning on the cart and, you're just in la la land. You're not paying attention. It's fucking Friday. I've worked fucking 40 some hours. And he says to me, back up. And I'm like, I'm not paying attention because there's no way he's fucking talking to me. He's like, can you just fucking back up? And I looked up, I'm like, me? And he's like, yeah, and we have a whole shopping cart. I don't even, if anyone that knows me, I don't even like humans that much. I don't like being in crowds. That's why I was a DJ and I had a big booth around me. And sometimes I would have security to be like, just one person. Like, I don't like it. So I'm like, and I looked at him, he goes, back up. I work in a hospital. Stay as far away from me as possible. And I looked at him and I said, you keep this up, you're going to land in the fucking hospital. I was so mad. I went from 0 to 100 and the lady's like, I'll take you over here. And she apologized. I was like, that was the day I said, I can't fucking go shopping because it was only going to get worse, right? So I got to thank a few of my friends that go shopping for me now. But like, they're like, what the fuck gives them the right to be so, you know what I mean? Like, you asked me, yo, sir, do you mind? I don't feel comfortable. You ask me nicely, I'll do absolutely anything. I would have backed up, but the yelling and the backup and the orders, it's like, whoa, relax. Like,
and what's with the fucking toilet paper craze? Like, I don't understand these people. Like, toilet paper, that's what you're fucking worried about? Like, you can wash your ass in water, you fucking retard.
I love it. I fucking love it.
You're all fucking, what are you doing with this toilet paper? Like, you fucking shoving it up your ass? Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know. And then when it sucks, they got my parents paranoid about it. And I was like, relax. Don't turn into these people, like, because it's a chain, right?
yes.
So there was a comedian one time. He brought it up. He goes, it wasn't that toilet paper went missing. It's just, I think people panicked because toilet paper is so big. So when you take 6 or 7 off the shelves, it starts to look empty, right?
Yes.
So I think when a couple people must have bought toilet paper at the same time, and then other people start taking pictures and panicking. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, that might have happened because it's big and bulky. You can only put so many on the shelf, right? But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm
that too. They were just like putting a few and then making this big hysteria. Like, think about it, because it's just going to make it sell more.
Yeah. What about the loser that bought all that fucking, was it the Lysol wipes and then sold them on Amazon for like 3 times? Remember that guy?
He got fucking charged for that.
Good.
They charged him. Yeah, because that's insanity. And now all of a sudden there's all these like, what is it? The hand sanitizer companies. There's like so fucking many. I remember my friend was like selling it for a bit. I was like, what the hell?
I'm not going to name any names. I got a few friends that asked me if I can sell some for them. Straight up, man. I was like, I hate putting that shit. That shit drives my hands right out, man. You know what Fuck. Did you ever go to a store and pump fake?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
No.
Like, it's just fucked because people like look at you so fucked up if you don't want it. Like, okay, my story was this girl. It was in the grocery store too. And I'm in line and she's like, can you move back, please? It's 6 feet, please. I am sickly. I'm sickly. Like this bitch is going fucking nuts. She looked fucked up too. She looked like pale as shit. Like, you could see all her veins popping out of her head. And she just looked scared. Like, I'm just like, bitch. Like, I really wanted to like kick her in the stomach. Like,
yes.
I was about to push my card in her stomach, and I just felt like, okay, you know what, Shelby, you can't go to jail over fucking.
That's what I mean. They bring out the worst in us.
Yeah, and it's like, and you're right. It's like now I avoid. Now I go shopping in the mornings so that I don't fucking see these people because I will flip. I will flip out.
So I went one more time to Walmart. One more time. Things were a little more open at this time. And now there's the fucking arrows, right? The arrows. in this
Oh,
way.
yeah, people look at you fucked up if you're walking down the wrong aisle.
So I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to break the aisle scenario. I can't handle people's bullshit. So I'm following instructions. I'm going, I take a left. I'm like, fuck, this wrong aisle. I do the whole fucking aisle and I turn around. So I get in this one aisle and there's this dude in front of me and I don't know. I'm going to exaggerate. It felt like 15 minutes. It could have been 4. I don't know. But he's looking at items, but I don't know if I should walk by him. You know what I mean? He's ahead of me. And I'm just like, well, I'm going to pretend shop over here. So I'm looking at shit like crackers and shit that I'm never going to buy. But I'm like, but he hasn't moved yet. And then after about a little bit, I was like, yo, bro. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, can I just walk by, man? Like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I don't want to back up and freak someone out. I don't want to walk ahead of somebody and freak. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Shopping is just not for me. You know, I just won't do it. Like, I'm breaking rules all the time. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know. It's absolutely. The funny thing is when COVID first started, though, it was funny. I went because in my job, there's a few different departments. So they wanted to train me in a different department. So I went with this other guy and it was wintertime. I want to say maybe late November, early December. And he tells me we're in the truck and he's telling me that he's like, the world's a little bit crazy, you know? He's like, you know, the natives are, you know, with the whole train scenario and they're blocking trains from going by and, you know, Hong Kong's doing their petition. And I was like, fuck, people are really coming together. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck you, government. Things need to change.
Yes.
And then March comes around and they say, don't stand near each other, get the fuck away from each other. And people are actually doing it. So they took petition, like people protesting and actually fighting for rights and made them turn against each other with this stuff. Like, think about it. There's like, stay the fuck away from me. Don't look at me. There is no racism. It's humans hate humans if you're too close now.
Humans. And like, everyone's going to rat on you. Like all your neighbors, if you have a big gathering, you're going to be centered out. And it's, you know what, that just really sucks. And back to your question about what you missed. I miss just being able to have a birthday party, holidays. Look at my Nana told me she went to a funeral. They can't even fucking sing. Like,
wow.
And it's just sad. She's like, there's no hors d'oeuvres. There's no everybody talking and mingling after the ceremony. Like,
that's right.
Fucking depressing. Like,
have you had a birthday through a COVID yet?
Okay, so my daughter, in March, my youngest daughter, it was her birthday, and that's when everything was kind of like shut down and crazy. So I had to do her birthday in COVID, and now it's gonna be my oldest daughter's birthday at the end of this month. So
wow,
I ordered a bouncy castle. All the kids are just gonna go outside and bounce around, come in for cake, and that's it. But it's like, I couldn't think of anything to do. Where am I going to take them? Where am I going to go? Like, you know, I didn't want it to be fucking morbid. Like,
it's true. I'll tell you another story about it's a little off, but it was talking about masks, right? You know, everyone's like mask, and I'm getting sweaters done, embroidered sweaters and hats, and there's another funny story about that. I'll tell you that after. But people are like, you should get the masks, and I'm like, no, I'm not getting a fucking mask. Because I'm against it. So why would I stick a logo on the mask? Because like I don't want to wear. Have you ever taken off the mask after and be like, thank God for air?
Yeah. I honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't like wearing the mask. I mean, obviously I have to follow the rules.
Of course.
Like going into the grocery store and stuff. But like as soon as I get out of the store, I take the mask off. Like I'm over this.
Like I'm pushing shit at work, right? So I'm lifting stuff at work and pushing it. And after like after a while, I'm like, God damn, like I can't breathe anymore. So I used to watch like, cause you know, there's a big thing when COVID started, the mask was mandatory. People were like, you can still breathe in a mask, and you know, congratulations if you can. I fucking can't. I'm sorry.
What about the people in their car with their mask on?
By themselves?
Yeah. I'm like, like, you're breathing in your own carbon dioxide. Like, I hope you.
Thank you.
And like, but that's another thing. Like, that's my little conspiracy about the masks too. Like, this is not normal, man. We're not supposed to be rebreathing in our air. Like, that kills you.
I swear to God, that's science class, grade 3 or 4. I'm telling you.
What?
I remember.
The science guy.
Where is he? Help us out.
Bill. We need Bill now to explain.
I remember saying I remember my teacher saying if you were underneath a jar by yourself, you would suffocate. If you put a tree under a jar, it would suffocate. But if you were both in there, you would live.
Yes.
And I was like, interesting. And that always stuck with my mind, right? And then they want to stick this mask on. I'm like, yo, this isn't natural, right? So
Not natural. And
do you think that maybe what is this? Imagine how my servers have to wear masks plus visors. Hold on. So Carlos Diaz is a good friend of mine. He's always on the show. Imagine how my servers have to wear masks and a visor. Like, so you're telling me there's a mask and a shield is what you're saying. This is fucking ridiculous. First of all, I don't know if you guys have ordered food through COVID. All I hear is I said, I don't know what the fuck you want.
I don't know what you're saying.
And you probably have no fucking idea because we're both wearing some, and then you separated with this bulletproof glass. So I don't know what's going on. Like now it's like and then I remember after a while I stopped going in. I used to only do drive-throughs because I can take it off and fucking tell them what I want, right? So
no, but this shit about we're gonna be open till 9. Like, so what? Everybody before 9 can get COVID, and everybody after 9 can't get fucking COVID.
I'm happy you brought that up. Okay, so last Saturday, I went out Saturday here it opened up for 9, right? Mm-hmm. So a few of our friends, one of them takes his son. We go to a restaurant, so we end up eating some wings. They go home. Another friend of mine's like, "Yo, do you want to hit up this bar down the street?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So I meet up with him, and it's probably realistically around 8 p.m. It's busy. It's fucking busy. I wouldn't go out at 8. I'd go out at 10, 11. That's my style. The 9 o'clock thing is making it worse because it's making everyone come there in that short period of time. It's actually busier than it should be because we're forcing ourselves to go in and enjoy whatever moment we have left. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, if this was open later, these folks could have had my seat. I could have showed up later and there would have been a better rotation, which would have been healthier all around. Mm-hmm. So now they have this big concern, right? We're going to close at 9. Everyone's rushing. So if this thing is really as bad as it is, this 9 o'clock p.m. bullshit is the worst thing they could have ever done. I'm telling you, it is bad.
It is so stupid. I don't understand any of it. And it's like, I feel like certain things, okay, like let's just say that this is a COVID thing. Like, mm-hmm. Talking about the masks. You have masks. Gas masks. I used to get high in them when I was fucking 14.
Yeah.
Okay. You have all these masks for different hazards. If this is the most deadly virus in the fucking world, how the fuck is this little surgical fucking mask gonna fucking do anything? I'm sorry. Like, do you think I'm an idiot? And then second of all, like certain things that reopened when things started opening up. Mm-hmm. They opened massage. They opened bars. They opened the fucking strip clubs. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So if this was really the most deadliest virus, like they're saying, you're telling me you opened up a massage where it's one-on-one and people are touching each other. You opened up bars where people get smashed.
Your logic's out the window, of course.
Yeah. You opened up strip. Like, okay, so you opened up all these fucking things. Like, I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. And I'm not dissing these businesses because they really, like, it sucks because these places are probably not going to survive.
I know. And the thing is, like, the funny thing is, we're going to extend our patio. I'm like, you do know how fucking cold it gets here, right? What do you mean extend? I'm not going out there in December, January, whatever the case may be.
I don't care what fucking heater you have.
You gotta hug the motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. And okay, I'll give you a quick example too. I go to a Boston Pizza. We go through Boston Pizza into the patio. This patio is pretty much enclosed with this little bit, probably about 4 inches around that's open to the outside with these heaters. And I'm sitting there going, so I'm not allowed to eat inside where it could be separated properly with proper ventilation. You're going to throw me in here with these propane heaters and no ventilation. I'm like, who the fuck came up with this? I'm looking around me like, this is work. The virus is expanding in this patio. Like, it is multiplying. I'm like, this.
Isn't that the dumbest shit?
I don't know. It's and I don't want to be like, the way I look at it is I find on planet Earth, a lot of people, what they do is they have the wrong people making the wrong decisions. Yeah. Don't fucking tell me Doug Ford has the same lifestyle as me. Fuck you, you don't. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean, you know? Hold on a sec. So Carlos Diaz, they opened up the strip club and massage parlors for the government.
They opened up golfing.
Yes.
They opened up cottages. Do you remember this?
So Anyways, then the strip club, I'm not pointing fingers, Toronto. Weren't you guys on the news for some strip club getting like 20, 30 cases? Did you hear about this?
They got it. They all
God
got
damn.
it. They had to shut down again. So that's what I'm saying. So whoever made these plans of what they were going to open first, I'm like, you guys are fucking morons. But the thing about it is that's so funny is nobody's getting any cases at Walmart. Nobody's getting any cases at
Costco.
Like, it's like, come on. This doesn't make any sense. Like, it's almost like they're targeting small businesses and targeting businesses that, like, think about it, bars, like things that you can manipulate your income, like.
Well, the cash. Now, what happens with the small businesses is they're eliminating the cash job. You know what I mean? So because I remember when I owned my bar, there was a little meat pie restaurant right next to me, and they made a killing. There was a high school. They made a killing throughout lunch, and they were cash only.
Yes.
So we know what they did, right? I made $400 for the day, and then I take my bag of money and I go home, right?
Yeah.
So they're eliminating those types of businesses because it's gonna be the corporations with the fucking credit cards and the debits, and everyone knows what they made and all that stuff. So they're eliminating those little guys, and I understand why the little guys do that shit. I get it. Being out there, rents, when I owned my bar, I didn't even know how expensive it was. Like the amount of hours I put in to break even. Like Bell would be like through the roof. I'm like, oh man, I have Sportsnet. I don't have TSN. So I call them like, can I get also TSN? Oh, it's an extra $200. Like, what the fuck for TSN? And the best part about this TSN channel was every time I want to watch a cool hockey game for the fucking people in the bar, it'd be blacked out. So I'm paying $200 for nothing. It was the dumbest. As soon as you owned a business, you got raped. Insurance. I swear to God, we're open for breakfast for 7 days a week. I'm like, hey, breakfast isn't working out. Let's cut breakfast out. So now there's an extra maybe 5 hours a day that we're not open. And I swear to God, our hydro and gas was still more expensive.
That is crazy.
It was to the point where it was just like, and my landlord, well, that's a whole nother story. She was absolutely insane, but it was one of those things where I had to take about a $30,000 loss to be like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I am losing my mind. Like I was like,
yeah,
it's best. And unfortunately, I look like a genius today because COVID hit us. But I mean, it wasn't for that. Thank God I didn't stick around.
Gosh, imagine.
Yeah.
Like, these bars right now, they're probably hanging on by a fucking thread. Like, and I feel like it's good for the little places that have a kitchen and a following because they'll do skip the dish and they could still.
Yeah, but that's terrible. Do you know what the skip the dish and Uber Eats is like?
What?
Because I own the bar, so skip the dish would take 25% off the top. Uber Eats is 30%. So if you're getting like, let's say like a $10 meal, $3 is going to them immediately. Like immediately. Then you have to pay them for a fee. It is insane. Like, so when we had Uber Eats, on good food, we were lucky we were making 10%.
Wow.
But the thing is, the way I looked at it, it was helping us rotate, like all our, the lettuce and the tomatoes and you know what I mean? Everything was always fresh. But trust me, it is not a moneymaker. So if you have a chance to actually walk over to a restaurant, do it. You'll support them a lot more. That's why if you drive by, I've noticed a few bars and restaurants I drive by, they say 15% off because they'll literally make 15% more giving you 15% off than they would Uber Eats doing it. It is absolutely crazy.
Exactly. And I see a lot of places just delivering themselves. They're like, no, I'm not on that, but we deliver.
That's right. E-Rock, what's up? E-Rock's this guy's a cool MC from Vancouver. We met through this thing called Bars of Death. This guy's the shit. He pulled out one sick track, really heart-mental track. Thank you, E-Rock, for being on. Appreciate it.
Dope.
Oh, isn't it weird that they stopped reporting COVID news from Italy and Brazil, where everyone was dying? Yes, of course, that's weird.
It's all weird. It's all weird.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, and it's sad because I don't want to say nothing happened there just because I wasn't there. I don't want to say that. But you're telling me that we're getting worse where everyone else is getting better?
Wow. Only America. Only fucking America. Like, we're supposed to be living in a free nation. Like, no, we are not free. This is more going to be turning into like
I told my dad it was North Korea soon. I told my dad that today at dinner.
Well, people are moving, eh? People are moving out of here. Like I know they're trying to make the whole world like this, but people are wanting to get out of this country now, which is bad because it's a good country.
You know what? It was when I remember growing up in the 80s, the 90s, and hearing my parents and my aunts and uncles and everyone else, it was so free. And then the 2000s, and then it moved on, and it tightened up. You know what I mean? It was the rules, the regulations, the money. Everything was more expensive. Gas was fucking going through the roof. Rent's uncontrollable. Like living in Toronto is ridiculous. By the way,
it's like New York.
It's ridiculous. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Of course, but it seems that the government are taking advantage of the pandemic. Of course, they're taking advantage of the pandemic. This is it. You know what? I'm going to tell you another. You're going to agree with me, Shelby. So the pandemic hits us. It's super serious. We see it on the news. It's in China, in Wuhan. Okay, cool. Then the government gets on the television and says, please come back home.
Yes.
So they come back home and say, please isolate yourself.
Yes.
Who the fuck? If you feel good, you're going to be like, I'm great. I'm going to walk out this door. I'm going to go to So if it's as bad as it is, shouldn't you have not rented a few hotel rooms?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but if you gave everyone that showed up on a plane, rented them a hotel room, gave them $2,000 to pay their bills instead of the whole fucking country, this could have been under control a lot quicker, or supposedly under control a lot quicker.
Yeah, they didn't want it. They don't want it to be. Like, look at it. Do you see anybody walking outside scared of fucking COVID, really, other than these like radical people? Nobody is scared. Like now they're just gonna make it bad again. They're gonna put that fear in again, drive up the cases. Do you know that Canada is taking a lot of their data from the States? It's not even our own data.
It's fucking crazy.
And it's like, you know, there's a lawyer right now suing the fucking country and the province because it's like you are taking people's livelihoods away based on what? There was
I don't know. There's a Facebook group that someone added me, and it was some like protest against masks or some. Don't quote me on the name of the group. So whatever. So I'm on that group, and then Doug Ford says, "Listen, there'll be no more parties, no more this, no more that." And this poor girl writes, "Ooh, we have it so bad. No more parties and gatherings and this." She got eaten up alive. Trust me, she did. But the thing is, like, this is the shit I live for. I work 5 days a week to enjoy myself on the weekend. Sorry. That's how I am. I love to go out, meeting people, do my thing. That's what I do. You know, it was cool for a little bit. I was like, maybe I needed a reset. Slow down, pay your bills, take care of your credit cards. It was cool. But it's dragging. It's too long.
Break up. Like you're like, you know what I mean? Marriage is like, there's way more domestic violence than there's ever been. Like these are some of the things that they're not really putting out in the forefront in the news. Like there's a lot of shit going on right now. People are trying to figure out like they don't even like I don't like you.
Well, overdoses was on the news here today was below for the last 3 years below 1%. And it went up to 8%. And they're like, yo, this is fucked up. That's throughout this COVID scenario. So like, the things are going bad. I've heard people, I'm not going to mention names, good friends of mine that said, yo, if I have to stay here with my wife much longer, I'm going to go fucking crazy. She probably said the same thing to her friends too. Don't get me wrong. It is what it is, but it's true that everything else has been put to the test. And it's now you can't put us through another winter. Winter's depressing enough. We stay in already. It's cold as fuck. You can't do this and without any options at all. You know what I mean? Without getting out. So I don't know. This is just ridiculous.
I don't know either. It's going to be interesting to see how people really react to this because you're right. Winter is going to be long. And then what are they going to do? They want so that everything will open up again in the summer. They're going to make everyone take this vaccine all winter, I guess.
You know what? I've never been a person to be strong-armed, but this is a good tactic to strong-arm my ass. I'm not going to lie to you. Carlos Diaz, kids are getting more anxiety and depression these days because of this. Yeah, I absolutely agree.
That's why I kept my kids in school. Like, luckily, the school they go to is very, very good. There's no cases there. They're doing a great job. But it's really fucked up. Like just yesterday, the teacher called me or the principal and she said, we had 60 more kids go to homeschooling. So we have to change your daughter's class and move her to another class. Like,
okay.
It's just sad because it's like all this stuff is happening to these kids and they don't understand it. And, it's a lot of adjusting. And I mean, kids are resilient. So that's really awesome. But at the same time, it's like, this shit sucks, man.
Well, kids are going to follow their parents' footsteps, right? Like you guys are the role models, right?
Yep.
So there was a time where I went to a friend's house and his best friend shows up with his 2 daughters and he brought his own chair. like we're outside on the patio, brought his own chair, sat over there. You know what I mean? Whatever. We didn't make fun of him. Your beliefs are, you want to be safe. And his daughters were awkward. You know what I mean? They were awkward. They were awkward with Buddy's kids too. Like it was sad a little bit. And then she gave a gift to to my buddy's wife because it was her birthday, and she literally extended her arm as far as she could and turned her head the other way to make it like that distance. And it was like borderline heartbreaking. Like you're just like, this is. It is sad, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not like that.
Yeah, E-Rock, it's definitely tough on the kids, for sure, man. It's not, you know what? We can whine and cry because we've had it good. You know what I mean? Kids don't know any better. You can't tell kids, oh, you can't go play with your friends. You know what I mean? Here we had this shitty, ugly ass beach called Mooney's Bay. Anyone from Ottawa will know it's this brown beach. I think everyone shits in it. But they had these big giant circles, and this was really like, it was for your little bubble of like 6 people.
Yeah.
They actually fucking drew these circles. Like, I can't be. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? I can't.
Yeah, did it at the park too. I brought the kids to the park, and they had these little fucking circles and we had to stay in them. And I fucking thought, what the hell are we doing here? I'm like, I'm leaving.
You have to leave. If you have any sense, you got to go.
Yeah, we got to go. Like,
soon it's going to be.
They're gonna put ice cream. Fuck.
They're going to put those dog collars with the electric fence when you walk out of your circle. You're going to get zapped. I'm telling you.
Like, how come the dogs don't have to social distance?
Fucking dogs taking off. You actually want to be a dog for once? You're like, that motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. It's terrible. I don't understand. It is something that I've tried to predict a bunch of shit. I remember being young, being global warming and hurricanes, whatever the fuck. This, unfucking predictable. This I would have never guessed.
I was talking to my Nana. She's like the oldest person I know, and she's awesome. And she's like, 87? And she went through like the Great Depression.
Exactly.
They went through so much shit. And she told me, I have never seen anything fucking like this.
Okay, so I buy my dad a snowblower, right? Because I don't want him to shovel no more. I need him to live a little longer, right? Mm-hmm. So my pops, I found a good snowblower. It's on sale before winter comes. We're going to go pick this thing up on Saturday. It's prepaid. It's waiting for us. He's like, okay, let's go. So we pick up his minivan. We drive down there. And he walks with me inside the Canadian Tire. And my dad is... My dad wears the mask, but he doesn't understand social distancing. Like, he still can't comprehend.
Yeah.
So he's walking around, and he's not seeing this, but they're fucking dodging him left and you know what I mean? He's walking one way, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, Dad, get the fuck over here. Get over here, So he walks over. I'm like, what are you doing? Stay right there. Like I felt bad, sit. He's like, okay. So he grabs a flyer, and he opens it, and he starts reading. He folds it and puts it back. I'm like, no. Things have changed. That is now your flyer now. Yeah. You can't put shit back.
You gotta hold that.
That is shit. You have to bring that shit home. You have to throw that out or burn it somewhere now. Because that shit, people are like, oh my God, he put it back. Like, you could see eyes just looking at him like, what the fuck's this man doing? Now, being normal, you are a lunatic. Like, to people. Like, you were like, what are you doing? Like, so I come back home, I go drop it off, I tell my mom, I'm like, fuck that. She's like, I have to deal with them all the time. So she goes off on this story. It was just funny, but he was just being him for his whole entire life. Walking around, observing, doing his thing. But people are looking at him like, what the fuck's he doing? He's breaking protocol. He's out of the line. He's walking by me. He's grabbing flyers. And that's what it's come down to. And I feel bad for people. Kids, the elderly, like, people are not paying attention. They've done certain things their whole lives. And now you're telling them, stop. Stop being social. Stop walking that way. Follow this. It's not cool. It's definitely not cool. It needs to change. It definitely needs to change. Now, the vaccine. I don't know. We have Carlos Diaz, E-Rock, and Alex that have been commenting. if you guys want to comment, would you guys take the vaccine? Would you, Shelby? Would you be one of the ones, you and your kids?
I don't think I'm gonna hold out as long as I can.
Are you gonna let me do it first and see what happens to me?
Yeah. I definitely think that the first people who take it, yeah, you guys go ahead first. I want to see what happens. I'm definitely not going to be a guinea pig for sure.
All right. So when the host of the show will be Shelby, it's because I took the vaccine first and she took over and be like, I fucking told you so. You know what I mean? So what's the difference of going into the grocery store and people touching shit there? There is.
Exactly.
I totally get that. I totally understand that. I didn't want to, like I said, when I touched the first thing I ever touched, I was like, fuck. Like, but the thing is, like, I try to avoid, I'm not good at confrontation.
Forbid Walmart had to close down. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, if it means I can travel, yes. Yeah, I'm on your side, Alex. Absolutely. E-Rock's like not on the first run. So me and Alex are on the first run, guys. We're on the first run. Right?
Yeah, I'm you guys are on the first run.
Yeah, fuck it.
Maybe it will help grow
some hair. Oh, Alex is balding. Alex, that's gonna get rid of whatever's left, bro. I'm sorry. See, Alex, Alex, can I ask you a quick question, man? This is personal. I shave my head on purpose. Are you mad that I do that? Because you can't grow any? Like, I don't know. I've had a friend of mine got mad at me, you know? Gas pump handles? Oh, no, dude. I wipe down the gas. I've been wiping down gas pump handles my whole life. I think that is the dirtiest shit on earth, the gas pump handles. I'm the one I've been doing that forever. People think I've been doing it since the pandemic. I've been doing that forever. Lysol wipe the fucking, that gas pump handle. It's disgusting. Either way, it helps. Okay, it sounds good, Alex. But yeah, no, first run, I think I'm in, man. I need a vacation. If it's gonna shorten a few years of my life to get the fuck out of here in the heat, sign me up, man. I don't know. See, that's the difference. Shelby's a mom, and I don't have kids. See, that we're on a different.
I was just gonna ask you, yeah, because it's mostly my kids.
We're on a different wavelength. We're not, yeah. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do this. You're like, fuck, I need to be here for my kids, so it makes sense, you know. I've said the vaccine is ready. I'm going to...
The elderly here first, yeah.
Yeah, no. Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Which is crazy. They're basically going to kill them all. That's what they did.
Well, isn't it...
Killed all the old people so they can steal their pension.
It's true. It's true. Is it not a business move? No?
It was totally a business move.
It's like, damn, this one's been fucking sucking us for 30 years. Get rid of her. You know what I mean? Like, it is. It's
real shit.
It is. I don't want to be mean, but it's facts.
You have to understand that if nobody has taken over whatever it is, what do they call it when they're like, they have control over your estate?
Oh, yes.
So there's a lot of elderly people who don't have family and haven't even done that yet. Like,
true.
So it's like, where does that go? It goes to the government. So
wow,
you have to think that a lot of these old folks' homes that got it, yes, they have underlying health conditions that they're not going to be able to, essentially survive a pneumonia.
Yeah, of course.
Pneumonia and flu mixed together, basically. So a lot of people would die from that. So it's like, if they do that and they target old people, of course, it's going to be a higher mortality rate than the regular person. I
totally agree.
So it's really bad, actually.
I don't know what it was like at your end. Here in Ottawa was when it was like when COVID hit us. It was like 20 some deaths in an old folks home. Blah blah blah. Always. It was always an old folks home, and I was always like, huh. And the first thing,
50 deaths here, 80 deaths here, like that's a lot.
I'm not gonna try and sound rude, but okay. These old folks home, I've delivered some stuff, some plumbing supplies there. And I feel bad. I end up talking to some because they're very sweet people. But let's be really honest. Majority of these people at these old folks' home, it's because there's probably no one to take care of them.
Nobody. And
no one's visiting them. So how the fuck are they getting sick if no one's heading over there? Right? I was like, I've been in these places. Like, I walk in, they're like, who the fuck's this guy? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
on the top.
I swear to God, how are you? And they walk me in, I'm blocking in my truck. I'm loading it back and I talk. I'll see you next time, sir.
Jail in there. They are excited for visitors.
And that's what I mean. So I'm looking back going, okay, so they're going to probably blame it on the nurses. but a lot of them are dying and they don't have very many visitors. So it makes you think, you know what I mean? Like, again, the comparison of how many people were in Walmart and how many people walk through this fucking old folks home. So it's, was it brought in? What are you talking about, E-Rock? What did I
brought it into there?
What did I do? What did I do again? Why? See, it's not me. It's the land shark. I don't do nothing. I don't do nothing. You know. But it definitely. I don't know. I was predicting that it would. I thought it was gonna end after Canada Day. I thought they wouldn't allow us to have this big celebration and then allow us go back to normal, but that wasn't it, man.
My dad thinks it's gonna be around for as long as they can make money.
So here, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So Alex was asking us, all right, another conspiracy: did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself or get murdered? If you guys have a minute.
He got murdered.
Yeah, so do I actually. Someone needs to shut the fuck up. No.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people in that world have been murdered.
We're talking about rich people in this scenario, right? Rich people, someone's getting in shit, someone's caught, and someone has names, so they need to go, right? So it is money talks, right? So you need.
Things gonna happen to the girl. What was her name?
I don't remember.
Glasser.
I just find all this shit is always. I don't like hearing like this and that fucking Weinstein guy. Like I hate all that shit, right?
Like, you sick, disgusting rich people. Like fuck off with your weird shit.
Yeah, I don't like it. I just don't find that's what I mean. Like, and the thing is, you're a woman, so you know the industry's always built. And I was talking to Tora last week. It's the same thing. It's like, you're a woman, give me this. And these men try to take advantage of it.
Completely.
You know, does it take a sicko to fucking take advantage of something? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Oh, he thinks, what is it?
Oh, Maxine.
I wouldn't have fucking guessed that.
Yeah, she is a weirdo too.
Yeah.
I'm sick. Like, I don't like any of those stories, and I'm not gonna say, like, I'm not gonna get into the deepness of all that.
Of course.
But I'm really sick and tired of hearing about these rich people's fucking problems. I don't care. I don't care about your fucking little weird fucking fetishes that you have. I really don't give a shit. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you're targeting poor people. Like, the fuck? I bet you there's kids out there and teenagers and young women and men that would do a lot for some money.
That's true.
And it's like, okay, great. We've seen it. Like, I've seen it all. I've seen poor people. I've seen rich people. I've seen what, you know, the world has to offer as far as weirdos. I have definitely seen it. And I'm just like, I don't want to hear about these people's shit. Just keep it to your fucking self. And if you get caught, then I hope whatever happens to you happens to you.
It's the Hollywood story. With the Weinstein thing, I'm always like, you know what? Sure, he's a sicko. Sure, you know what I mean. But there's got to be, and I'm not trying to be a fucking prick, but there's got to be a few girls that were actually willing to do anything to get ahead.
Of course there were.
Just like anyone else would do for anything else, right? So it's like one of those things. It's like, yeah, it's probably happened. It probably got to his head and whatever. But I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he brought up, like, if he gets arrested, shouldn't his fucking assistants that set this up should get arrested too?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what the fuck's going on. You're the one setting this shit up.
They should all get shot.
Yes, absolutely. Alex, he's like, okay, let's move on to the next. What's your opinion on aliens? Is that what you're asking?
I definitely know that we're not the only beings in this whole entire universe, but I don't feel like I'm ever gonna see an alien, so I really don't care.
I think I might know a couple. I might have dated two of them. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not gonna lie, but you know what? It's funny because you talk to someone. I've talked to people that don't believe in it. Religious people don't believe it at all. You can't fucking tell us that we're like a micro piece of, you know, a little piece of the fucking universe, and we're the only things that exist. It can't be us dummies.
There's like 3 800 million like habited planets along the Milky Way. So there is no possible way we're the only beings.
And if we're the smartest, intelligent people on this fucking, we're in trouble. Like, this universe is going to shit.
We're definitely not.
We're going to the shitter. Like, this is over. Like, this is as good as it gets. We fucked it up, you know? I've always talked about, like, you know, like they rip the oil out of the earth.
I'm gonna die. Hold on.
Oh, no problem.
I gotta move to my charger. Hold on.
Are you holding this phone this whole time?
No.
Okay, thank God.
But now I have to because I have to get the charger.
So the shaking, she doesn't have Parkinson's, guys. It's not her
No.
fault. She's holding the phone. So, like, you know when they start ripping oil out of the ground and they've been ripping all this shit for fucking X amount of years and blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a scientist of any sort, but isn't that those minerals in the ground for some fucking reason? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Is this in the long run going to be very bad for us? Like,
yeah, like taking oil out of the ground. I feel like that's like the world's like blood.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I totally agree. But why is the government covering it up? I don't know, bro. Because we want the technology for ourselves. Maybe. I don't know, bro. I just find that I don't know if people are scared of, you know, because people are fear. Look at this. We have a pandemic that's like, I don't know. It hasn't affected me personally. But people are scared of it. So you tell people there's a fucking alien walking planet Earth, they have to cover that shit up. You know what I mean? They have to.
Oh, they definitely would cover all that up. It would scare people.
Absolutely. Yes, Alex, Landshark should fucking sponsor my show, or just me in general, you know. But another conspiracy that I thought about this earlier before I came on the show and we never mentioned it. What's your conspiracy thoughts? And we've watched 1,000 of these documentaries, the Tupac and Biggie murder. What's your thought on that? Why?
Oh, apparently they've solved it.
It was the dude that Tupac, sorry, I'm talking about.
I think who they're putting it on, I don't think it is who
Okay,
they say.
okay.
I don't think it was Orlando.
Yeah, that's it.
Who is a known Crip. And he was a killer, but I don't think it was him. I think it was the NYPD or the LAPD. And I think it was carried out from greed and like the higher ups.
Is it not crazy that they would actually blame Suge to be a part of this, even though he's in the car with them?
I think Suge, if he wasn't a part of it, I think he knew it was going to happen. And I think that he acted accordingly I think they wanted to kill him too.
So do I. I absolutely agree. I just found it. They're like, oh, he put the hit on. And I'm like, one missed bullet. This guy's dead.
They could have been actually trying to kill him. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
true enough.
The thing about it is that we all know that Tupac was very vocal and he was very revolutionary.
Oh, yes.
His parents were Black Panthers. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like he had so much light and influence that he had to go. They would have had to kill him. And Biggie, I believe, was murdered also by the LAPD. And I also believe Puff Daddy had something to do with it.
That is crazy. There's rumors that Biggie was leaving Bad Boy.
Yeah, and there was rumors that Tupac was leaving Death Row.
That's right. It's fucking crazy.
And if you notice, even with like young artists now that are dying as well, rest in peace King Von, rest in peace Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace Pop Smoke. The common trend in this is that the record labels are still going to make money no matter what. And they make more money when the rapper dies.
It's just facts.
So they don't care about squashing any beefs. They don't give a fuck about any of that. And then you have, let's mix some drugs and some egos and some money into all that. And it's going to be a recipe for disaster.
No, you're 100% right. Because you ever notice we've all noticed it when someone dies, they get elevated, like they get put on this huge pedestal, and they should have been there to begin with.
Yeah, like Nipsey Hussle didn't get
nothing.
Like for his music, he didn't get a lot of the accolades he should have until he was dead. Pop Smoke was just a rising star. Yeah, Keefe D admitted to killing him, but he also got immunity from the government. So whatever story they said fucking say, he could say.
True
and
enough.
Vlad got the most interview out of him, and Vlad even said that there was inconsistencies in his story. And Vlad has like literally interviewed more people than anybody on this shit.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a big part. It's a big part of Vlad himself, right? From him growing up and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
right? So,
he loved, just like I said when I started talking to him in 2008. Like I knew him from those mixtapes. He loved Tupac, and he was doing Tupac mixtapes. So that's what he was known for, really, as a DJ.
100%. No, it's definitely, it sucks. I think the hip hop game would have been a little bit different with them being alive. You know what I mean? We would have definitely been blessed with more music, of course.
I think the LAPD killed Nipsey too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And these are like technically murders that are unsolved, right?
Well, Tupac's and Biggie's is unsolved, but Nipsey Hussle's is in court right now.
Oh yes. Something.
But I mean, it's like he had already said, he had text something about the government gave me 75,000.
Watch Kill the Messenger, and it talks about the crack cocaine epidemic and how it started. Diaz, is that on Netflix?
Yeah, to disassemble the Black Panthers, and then it turned into gangs.
Oh wow. His country. He's from Nicaragua. I remember that. Carlos, I remember. I'm not racist. You're all not from Mexico. I swear to God. All right. I had to explain that to my dad today. My dad's like, you're Mexican friend. I'm like, Dad, he wasn't Mexican. I'm like, stop being like that, But yeah, no, it's definitely, it sucks that, you know what? It was another, I don't remember who was getting interviewed, but they brought up, they're like, why is hip hop so divided? Like the United States is divided, like extremely. You grab the states, east, west, this, not. They got the South. They got, you know what I mean? It's divided up. Where rock music is, who gives a shit? Like it's crazy, no? Like it's crazy.
It's more like, I think, it's more competitive, and I feel like there's so much like built up in it. Like they're constantly pinning artists against each other, which they don't do in any other genre. So it's just really odd.
I remembered I had Neffy Raps. I don't know if you ever had a chance to check her out. She's really dope person, dope artist. She's from Baltimore. She's now posted in Texas. And obviously, like every time I end up interviewing one of you people, I do my research, right? And there was one interview of hers, they were trying to pin her up against somebody else. They're like, so which artist do you hate? And she's like, well, I don't hate anybody. It's like, oh, who do you like? And then they're like, oh, sure, like I like this girl and this guy and this. And then they go back to it. Who do you hate? And they just kept pushing it. She wouldn't let it go though. She's like, she stood her ground, and I respected that. And that's something I never wanted to do on this show. I was just like, what the fuck? I'm not trying to get that out of people. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
And you're right. And the game is done that way, right? It's just competitiveness. Who do you hate? Let's do this. Compete. I'd rather have people collab than compete.
Oh, people have tried to pin me against there's that artist out here, what is it, Chromas. She's a young girl. She's doing her thing. Yeah, they tried to pin me up against her. I said, I go, first of all, she's 10 years younger than me. Like, what do I have doing beefing with this girl? Like, I don't even know her. Like, no. And it's just, I think they do it to females a lot. And it's just, it's really, it's sad. With the men, I feel like it's just unnecessary because there's too much gunfire. Like it's just,
you'll never, it's unfortunate. It's always your entourage, right? It's always the entourage. You can't talk shit about my boy. I got you. And that's where the male ego kicks in, right? That was my next question is like, so you've been pinned up against someone. How did you get pinned up against somebody? Who set that up? Who mentioned it?
It was just somebody who was behind the scenes who talked to me about it.
Wow.
It never actually happened. I had heard some comparisons, like mumblings through the grapevine, but I had never heard anyone say it outright to me like that until he did. And he's like, oh, you should go up against her. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, he's telling me vital information about the girl that like,
really?
I'm not gonna repeat.
No, not at all.
But it's like, I'm like, no. I definitely was like, no. And then he must have got some other girl to do it because another girl ended up going after her. I don't know if it was because of him or she just decided to do that on her own, but it didn't really work out for her.
That's not cool, man. Not cool.
Like, she got a little bit of clout from it, but it's like she was already a good artist. She didn't really need to do that.
No, that's not cool. I remembered here this dude threw like instead of having a rap battle, he had a performance battle, and the asshole would actually line up friends against each other. The first round was only friends. Like, it wasn't like you guys are friends. Hopefully you guys meet in the finals. It was literally like this asshole just watched these people go at it, and
wow,
young male ego will talk a lot of shit before they even go on stage, right? So a lot of friendship was diminished after this show. It wasn't cool, man. But you know what? It sells, right? He was a promoter. He sold the event. He did what he had to do, and now back then I was probably 24. So about 14 years ago. And it was one of those, like, now that I look back, I'm like, what a fucking dickhead. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do what you got to do to sell tickets, right? So I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with it. The guy that I was supporting, was always with this one dude. And after that show, they barely spoke. Male ego got in the way, right? Like,
that sucks.
Now, have you ever tried battling anybody? Was that ever a part of your game at all?
Yes, I've done a few battles.
How do you do that? How do you take that? How do you take the insult?
How? I'm very insulting. So I don't really care what you say about me.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back and insult you just as much as I possibly can. And for some reason, I know a lot about people. People tell me a lot about different people over the years, and I've just been one of those people that just has a lot of information about random people that, like, you wouldn't even believe. And, like, I'm pretty, like, I'm classy, so I don't tell my secrets. But I mean, if it came down to it in a battle, like, yeah, there's been some times I've said some shit and they've been like, oh my gosh, how did this girl know this?
I don't know. I met a lot of these guys throughout the podcast. There was this 16 Bars of Death, it was called at the time. Someone took over. It's called Bars of Death now. And it was just battling each other. And I was just like, fuck, man. Like, I'd fight these people. Like, it was just like, it's a part of the game. I was just like, how do you, and they're great friends. And they know it's like, it's a sport on a certain way, right? It's a sport. They do their thing. But I always ask people that battle, like, how do you do it without being so, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's probably why I never
thick skin.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't have thick skin. Let's put that out there, right? My skin's thin as fuck. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do what you guys do. Battling was for me. I was watching one today. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then they're like, yo, thanks for having me on. I'm like, how were you nice about this after? Like,
right? No, some of them are friends.
It's true. And it's cool. Especially when they're friends and they go at it. They know more about each other, right? Like, I don't know. It gets touchy. The guy was talking about Buddy's wife, and I was like, oh man, you went too far. You know what I mean? You went too far. What is it? Here, what do you got here? We collab and support each other, and the other side. Yeah, absolutely, E-Rock. Yeah, E-Rock was on 16 Bars of Death. That's how we all met. A lot of the artists on here met up on there. And it's true. There was this one girl that was on there. She did poorly. She didn't do very well. And you know what? The people that were watching it harped on her. They're just like, you're not, you shit. But you know what? Everybody that competed in that competition backed her up. You know what I mean? Cool. And some hollered at her and helped her out. You're like, Leah, listen, you have drive. And there's people, even Bam he's told me he's been working with her. They've been talking behind the scenes. Like, I like your delivery. Let's work on this. And I love how people are working with each other. Let the people, you know how it is. There's always a fucking hater or
haters.
I can't make fun of her. I can't do what she did. You know what I mean? I can't do that. So I'll never talk shit about that.
It's always somebody who can't do it that hates on you.
Do you find that the internet? So now that's another thing. How did you take criticism in the internet era? Because back in the day, you'd hand a CD or do your performance. People would lie to your face. Right? Yeah. That's fine. That's cool. We like it. Lie to my face. I did a great job. Awesome. And then there's those internet guys with the phones and the computers. How did you handle that?
I don't look at comments. That's one thing for an artist. You can just not look at the comments. It's really easy. And another thing is, if you happen to see something, you have to consider the source. Are they a hater? Are they giving you constructive criticism? Are they somebody that knows you? You have to look at the source. So, and sometimes you need to take constructive criticism, and sometimes you could tell people to go suck their mom.
Yeah. Now, criticism. Let's talk about that. Now? Obviously, does it mean more coming from your friend, obviously, than it would be from Johnny?
No, not
Johnny
necessarily.
No,
a lot of my friends are fucking dimwits, and they could never do what I do. So depending on if I know they're coming from a genuine like fan standpoint, then yeah, okay, I might listen to them because they've been following me for so long.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're just, jabbering away, fucking talking shit, no, I really don't care what you have to say. And it's like, you don't buy my shit anyway. My friends never support me. So it's
why is that?
Because Toronto is the screwface capital.
It's not Toronto. I'm telling you, E-Rock could probably actually, he's from Vancouver. This is the West. I'm here from Ottawa. I'm telling you, the people that are closest to you,
they don't care.
Why? It's when I started this podcast, I was like, yo, let me interview you, or can you get your friend over there? And they're like, yeah. And I never heard back from them, right? So then, we start working on our technology. We start getting it. We start spending some money. And all of a sudden, yo, I got my boy. I'm like, that's the motherfucker I asked about 4 months ago. What I mean?
Yeah, hello.
And it's like, and I'm like, cool, man. But it's just funny. And that's my friend. You think you'd have up on a couple people.
I'd have my own boyfriends hating on me. Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, but that's the boyfriend thing. That's a jealousy thing. My girl's going to be successful. Every guy's going to love her. That's probably what he's going to pull off, right?
I don't know. I still haven't figured out to this day why they do that stupid shit.
What'd they say when you ask them? What'd they say?
They don't really
I don't hate
anything. They act stupid, or they'll come out for sure just being like, oh no, you're gonna quit music. You're gonna retire. I'm like, no, definitely not. So, I mean, they never last long, but it's really odd. I don't know why people close to you don't support you. I mean, until you start making some money and then they shut the fuck up.
There's moves, yeah.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
That is crazy, no. But yeah, no, I guess it's you know what? I would probably imagine being a strong woman, a successful woman. You've done a lot in the music business. So when you meet a guy, it's got to be a little bit threatening for some of these people. It has to be.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but it's like you knew what you were coming after. So once you get it, if you can't handle it, you're just a big pussy hole.
Most men are just fake.
Yeah, and women. Unfortunately.
I wasn't trying to bring that up, but it's facts, actual facts.
Shit happens.
It is. It is what it is, though. But Shelby, I don't want to keep you up. Thank you so much.
This was amazing. Thank you so much.
We'll do it anytime you want. You know that. You have something in your mind.
I love it.
Holler at me. Thanks for everyone. E-Rock, Alex, Carlos, thank you for fucking messaging, being a part of the show. We appreciate it. It was fun. Shelby, you know where to find me whenever you want to get on. Next time you got to get those Guinness, though.
I will.
You do your thing, all right? Thank you so much.
Guys, have a good night.
See you later, Shelby. Bye.
Bye.